Hey guys, my name is Scott and you are watching the Final Score YouTube channel, and these are my reactions to the Chelsea versus Everton game which finished just over an hour or so ago. And I am super excited to do these reactions, really excited, because this is the first football game reaction on this channel that I am doing as a Chelsea fan to a Chelsea game. So I'm really excited to break down this team and this performance because it's something that I've been passionate about since I was like 6 or 7 years old. And it's a team I followed my entire life. So I'm really excited to get into the game. So let's not waste any time. This was just a great performance by Chelsea. For those of you who don't know, the score was Chelsea 2, Everton 0. And yeah, it was just top to bottom an excellent Chelsea performance. I would say a very Thomas Tuchel-esque performance, if we're talking about the new era that Chelsea Football Club has brought in Thomas Tuchel. He has just been driving just hard work into these players, and that is what today's performance was. It was just dogged hard work and determination from the players, all 11 players on the pitch, even Edouard Mendy in goal. All of them worked extremely hard today for this victory, and they deserved every penny that it was worth, because across the pitch, we just outfought Everton top to bottom. And Everton fans probably will admit that too. I don't know any Everton fans personally, but I'm sure watching the game they would say the same thing. That they were just outmuscled today by Chelsea. Chelsea won the battles all over the field, in the defence, in the midfield, up front. They were pressing faster. They were winning the ball back quicker. They were getting back into shape for defence quicker. They were creating counter-attacking opportunities faster. They were just creating opportunities at a much greater rate than Everton ever were. And Everton didn't really look a threat to Edouard Mendy at any point in this game. And that is testament to the entire Chelsea team, not just the back five that we had in place, but the entire team. So yeah, to be honest, there wasn't too much to talk about overall. That is my general analysis of the game. It was just a dominant performance from a Chelsea side who are coming up against another team who was considered a Champions League rival. So really impressive performance from the men in blue today. So let's go into the key events though. It started with a very hard fought 30 minutes or so across the pitch from both teams, to be honest. Both teams were working hard, but neither one could really create the opportunities. Then it settled into a pattern where Chelsea had a lot of the ball as we expected and they took control of the game. But Everton's shape, it looked like it was going to be a frustrating night for Chelsea. Early on, it just looked like Everton were not going to be broken down for love nor money. But then, half an hour in, a man who was looking threatening early on, Marcus Alonso, slides in and a wonderful ball into him. But Marcus Alonso just places the ball across the box in for Kai Havertz. Sorry, I forgot his name for a second. In for Kai Havertz, who has a flick at the ball, we'll say. It was a Kai Havertz-esque flick of the ball. It wasn't going goalwards, but it took a very lucky and large deflection off of Ben Godfrey, the Everton centre-half, and Jordan Pickford had no chance. Pickford made some good saves in this game, but for this one, he had no chance. So fair play. It was just a well-worked move from Chelsea. The first time, really, I can think that we got in behind the Everton defence and we got a goal from it. So that kind of set the pattern for the rest of the game. I thought Everton did a really good job defensively at shutting down Timo Werner and his pace in behind in the first half. But that was it for the first half. We had some good performances from the likes of Kai Havertz and Callum Hudson-Odoi in particular, who looked really bright. And also Marcus Alonso. I'm still stunned, like a fellow YouTuber of mine, Rory Jennings. I'm still stunned that he puts on a Chelsea shirt from time to time whenever the boss picks him. I'm stunned that he's a player at this football club, but when he puts it on and when he tries 100%, he is a great left wing back. There's no denying that, and he proved it again today with some really positive movement and positive balls into the box. So yeah, fair play to Marcus Alonso. But yeah, that was it for the first half, really. Second half became a lot more open, I would say. Everton were chasing the equaliser, so they lost their shape quite often in the second half, and Chelsea really exploited that. Again, I'm going to mention Callum Hudson-Odoi here. He had a wonderful game tonight. on the ball, driving at the Everton defence. You could tell what Tuchel had told him beforehand. He was just on it today. He looked really impressive. Considering we've been seeing him at wing back for most of the weeks under Tuchel, to give him a position in that front three with Havertz and Werner today, he was by far the best player out of Havertz and Werner. So fair play to Hudson-Odoi. Grabbed the opportunity by his neck and ran with it, quite literally. And we'll move on to the second goal. Basically, Kai Havertz takes the ball in the box, gets brought down by Jordan Pickford on a counter attack, and it's a penalty to Chelsea. And who else to step up but the wonderful Jorginho, the Marmite of Chelsea. Some people hate him, some people love him, but we all know when Jorginho takes a penalty, apart from 3 times this season, it normally goes in the back of the net. This one was nothing different from what we expected. He did the little hop, skip and a jump just before the end. Jordan Pickford went the wrong way, and Jorginho stroked it in for 2-0. Simple performance after that then, to be honest. It was one where Chelsea could have probably gone on to get more goals, but just by hook or by crook, good defensive effort from Everton, good saves from Jordan Pickford. But we could have probably gone on to get a third or a fourth had it been a different day and a different opponent. But yeah, it was a really solid performance from Chelsea nonetheless. And that's pretty much it to talk about this game. I will go through my man of the match and my flop of the match. Man of the match, for me, really, really easy. I want to give Kai Havertz a shout out first. This was probably his best game in the Premier League for Chelsea. With the 70+ million price tag on him, I know he's had a really tough start to life in English football. I still remember that League Cup hat-trick he scored at the beginning of the season. It feels like absolutely years ago now, but he did it, so he's got the talent in him. But he put a really impressive performance today. I'd say, like I said, his best performance in the Premier League. But it has to for me go to Callum Hudson-Odoi for all the reasons that I've just mentioned. Driving with the ball, intelligent movement, great passing. Probably could have had a goal today as well had it fallen differently for him and had the shots had taken their clearer path and not been saved by Pickford or blocked by the defence. So, but a really impressive performance today by young Callum Hudson-Odoi. Super happy for him. And my flop of the game, it's quite hard to pick because Everton didn't necessarily have any specific underperformers. They just didn't play as good as Chelsea today. But if I'm going to pick one, I'm going to pick Richarlison. And again, for those of you who watch my Liverpool-Fulham recap on the channel on Saturday or Sunday, whenever it was, I can't remember now. But for those of you who watch that video, I picked Salah as my flop of the match. Even though apart from the mistake for the goal, he didn't make any massive errors. Similar here for me with Richarlison. The lofty expectations he's been setting before this game. He scored 6 in 6 in the Premier League before this game. He just was a bit poor today, to be honest. Didn't hold the ball up well enough for Everton. Didn't really make any impactful runs in behind. The passing and the final cross was poor from him. So yeah, I just think he probably was the worst player for Everton today. But still not a terrible performance considering Chelsea played so well. But yeah, apart from that, everything is done. I'm sorry I didn't come to you with a Tottenham Crystal Palace recap yesterday. Just everything was a little bit busy. But I'm going to come back tomorrow with my recap of the full weekend and also some reaction from the other leagues as well, such as Rangers winning the title off of Celtic for the first time in 10 years, which is massive news. Well done to all my friends in Scotland who are big Rangers fans. So super proud of Rangers for doing that. But yeah, otherwise I will see you tomorrow for that recap. But thank you for watching.